than 18,000 sex workers operate in Jamaica. That's according to statistics from health officials. Hi, and welcome to Business on Back Road, a feature on sex workers on Port Henderson Road, popularly known as Back Road in St. Catherine. I'm Nadine McLeod. Now, have you ever wondered what's life like for sex workers? What are some of the dangers they experience on the road? How do they cope with those dangers? Well, here are the stories of two sex workers on Port Henderson Road.
Why I choose this life, business-wise, because I'm supposed to migrate, and trust me, it's not easy to get a work downtown. Because sometimes if you go in that hostel and searching one worker, no time to money slow. Sometimes you go in some hostel, one workers, two workers, and one or more workers. I have a chain. My chain is food and nutrition. And trust me, to go back to school, my parents have it hard, especially my mother, because my father is not out here. My father is overseas. So it's very hard for she alone out here with my little brother, because my father ain't helping him. So we only get the help overseas. I want to go back to school, yes, but people them don't really have it like that.
I was once a bartender and it didn't work out, so I tried dancing and it still didn't work out. This is the last opinion for me. Option, well, I got 3 kids, one stable father, but 3 different father. So I still have to help my other 2 kids, them different from the one where I get help from my father, which my mother, she's old and not so strong, so I still have to help she. And more time, I have to pay somebody to keep my kids them. So it unbalanced on my side, so I have to keep it balanced. 30 grand, 20 grand, depends on the night, or more. Depends on the type of client you get, more.
We can't trust nobody after dark. And right now, it's like a ghost town, honestly. Everybody is so dramatized. We can't trust nobody, as I say, because we don't know who is who. Because like everybody say like a serial killer let loose or a Chucky. Everybody have to do something to make a living, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't see why sense people have a pass and criticize, because everybody do the same. Because work is very hard to get. Well, it could be shameful when people in your area come around here and see you and then go back to the same area and disgrace you.
Me and a client went out to his hotel, and when we finished do like whatever we did start before we leave. When I fell asleep after we finish, him take my purse, my ID, my money when him give me plus the money when we did have, so if difficulty catch me. And eventually when we wake up I don't see him. I never see but that man in my life after that. And at the time I was 18 years old.
A lot of experience I go through, because man come here and bad way up and all these type of things, and much as the type of work we're doing. Some parents don't know the things we do. So when something do happen to us, at the time I'm going to find out.
Of course, why not? All the time.
Do you have an escape route? Do you have a plan to leave?
Yes, I have a plan to leave.
Would you like to share that plan with us?
Yeah, any day now. I like to get myself back in school, get a status, and you understand me? Because I can do hair and I can do nails, and that can pay me same way.
How long do you intend to do this?
Not long enough, because I soon get through.
Like how soon? I mean, filing can take years.
Well, if the country no can help myself go back to school, which that only mean one. The school I want to go to is USC, that is overseas, the law.
Make we go in at the hotel. Make we go in at the hotel, yeah, baby. Make we go in at the hotel. Make we.
And there you have it, the stories of Lexi and Quality. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Business on Back Road, a feature on sex workers on Port Henderson Road, popularly known as Back Road in St. Catherine. Now, having heard the stories from two sex workers, I went on the cover on Port Henderson Road to witness firsthand what happens to sex workers on that stretch of road. I visited Port Henderson Road twice between July and August. Each night, I spent about 2 to 4 hours. Here's what happened. I'm here in TVJ's makeup room where I'm about to get a makeover for a feature on sex workers on Port Henderson Road, which is also known as Back Road.
I'm going to make your eyes dramatic. So I'm going to give you some colors on your eyes, and you're going to change your hair as well.
This is me. This is the finished product. See you on Port Henderson Road. So we're approaching the toll booth at the moment, and we should be on Port Henderson Road in a few minutes. I'm a bit nervous because anything can happen on Port Henderson Road tonight, from being abducted to being attacked by a sex worker.
Without money, no gold can buy a company, no. Without money, you alone confess your love to me.
Well, the security guard has just dropped me off, and the first thing I notice is that I am a bit overdressed. Now, most of the girls here on Port Henderson Road tonight are almost naked. Yeah, one could consider some of them naked. Now, I must tell you that in preparation for this assignment, my outfit and hair cost a total of $4,000 or about that. But before we came here, we spoke with a sex worker who we shall call Quality. Now, Quality told us how much it cost her to prepare for the job.
Well, at least 110 grand with the avant for the night. Everything, when you add it up. Yeah, because sometimes I buy human hair. Sometimes you have to put yourself together to get real customers. That's it.
But I noticed that some of the girls are naked.
That's a for them style. Everybody have an own style.
No, I don't do eyelash and I don't do fingernail. I don't really like the makeup. I just put on my hair.
Now I'm looking for a place to stand for the night. In our conversations with sex workers, they told us that deciding where to solicit customers depends on the person. Now, they say some of them stay in bars, others stand on the roadside, and some of them stay in car park. I have chosen this particular location because it is well lit and the security guard is nearby. This job just consists of just standing and hoping that someone will stop. It's a bit boring. I've been here for about 30 minutes now and no one has stopped. It appears that business is kind of slow tonight on Back Road. Now, I must tell you that in the same way many persons would get up and get dressed and go to work, this is a real job for the sex workers.
I come out at 8 o'clock and I go in by 6 o'clock.
And on a regular day, about how many customers you get at that time?
10, 15, 20.
Another issue I noticed on Port Henderson Road is that some men try to abuse the women. Here is an interaction I had with a man who had said something I found offensive. I'm not do business with you, sir.
Why?
I'm not do business with you. Carry on. Come now. Then come lock me up right now.
What?
I could not do this work. It is too much.
Everywhere where we go, easy 1, 2, 3.
So it's the second night of the feature. It is a Friday night again. It's shortly after 11 o'clock. We're approaching the toll booth and we should be on Port Henderson Road, which is also known as Back Road, in a little while.
See me just look at girl, then me like down with she. I 1, 2, 3. See when me touch a girl, she fall in love with me.
During our research, we found out that to do regular sex would cost $2,000. But I noticed that most of the people here, potential clients, think that $2,000 is too expensive. So I think I'm going to lower my price. Where do I go? Well, we can get a room in a or we can do or any room on the strip that you want. It's $500 an hour. Yes. My charge? $500 for regular sex. So that'd be $1,000. Cool, no problem.
I'm not checking that side.
All right, no problem.
Stay right on the beach.
Sure, no problem.
Where you say
Is down there, but I don't think I want to do business with you tonight.
Why?
Because somebody is on his way to pick me up. He's on his way, another time. Cool. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure. Now let's talk a bit about how much the sex workers charge.
Regular sex, 15 bills, all depends on the client. If it's everything, it will be 4 grand, 5 grand, or more, depends on the customer.
Do you give discounts like to an older client?
Less is my regular clients, yes.
If you have the 2.5, you're gonna get 6 alone, but you can't give me 3.5 for all inclusive.
So we did this assignment for about 2 or 3 hours on 2 days. And during that time, about 10 men stopped seeking business. Let's say I had charged them $2,000 each. Now that would amount to about $20,000. But remember that these sex workers are on the road for hours.
9,000
Per week?
Yeah.
Only on weekends they will get a lot of clients. During the week it's 1-1, 2-2. Yeah, but on the weekend like Friday and the Saturday and the Sunday, them night the worst if it's an holiday month.
So like how much money you carry home per week?
Sometimes 50 grand, 30 grand, 40 grand, 20 grand, it all depends. Cause I still spend every day to buy food, I smoke, I drink. So if any little thing come I buy it, if a pants come I see it, I like it, yeah. So I spend money same way, if I check that, weird about me I tell you about.
Another thing I noticed while doing my story here on Back Road is that the sex workers are very security conscious.
If a man come to me and other business with me, them try for use like some of them use knife that way, but you see, me have my guard.
So you have to pay the guard?
Yeah.
Look at that lady, she's walking towards the car in which the cameraman is filming this story. I'm sure that she's curious to know who is inside of it. The car was parked in front of me and then it moved and she's walking towards it to find out. She was staring at me, so when she comes back I'm going to ask her.